From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 as the House has sent that recon to the Senate, and the senators now indicate it's going to get done very quickly. I have the breaking news about the passage in the Senate and how soon it could happen. The Senate changes go into that incredible recon. A brand new report says new changes going in there, very few things coming out. The biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. This recon will have upwards of about $50,000 to $60,000 of checks in there for you across the board. I'm going to show you how you get these incredible checks in this brand new Mornings live broadcast. We'll go over the big money to pay your bills right now. That's third stimulus. How viewers have gotten $5,000 on average each day this week. Is your day to get money as well. We'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness. The latest on that. We'll be turning to fifth stimulus and the COLA raise coming in January. We'll be turning to the financial news and why the markets crashed dramatically on the jobs number on Friday. Then we'll be turning to the new travel restrictions, why it's causing some confusion across the board. And then you're going to see me in a new series you've never seen me before. It's about the metaverse, and maybe there we'll find some bacon. The toast is toasted, the butter is buttering, the coffee is brewing, and the bacon, maybe it'll be digital. But it's a big morning, it's a big morning, it's a big day, it's a big week, and I'm excited you're here. The Mornings broadcast starts live on air from Santa Monica, California. I'm excited you're here, and the excitement starts right here, right now, starting on a big day, and the excitement is this very moment. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Is a big day, a big news day today, because that recon is now in the Senate and the senators in session, and a new report says the senators are going to get it done really quickly with very few removals, but more changes adding checks in there on top of the existing checks that pay a lot. I mean, this recon will be the biggest payday you've ever seen in the history of this channel. $50,000 to $60,000 of programs paying you money across the recon. We'll be turning to the big money that has paid viewers on average $45,000 and is paying viewers $5,000 this week. Your bills. It's third stimulus. You want your bills paid? Stay with me. I show you how to do it in this recording. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest on that. Fifth stimulus, the latest on that, plus that COLA raise. We'll be going over what's going on with the financial markets. Why did they implode last week? What's going on with those confusing travel restrictions? And the latest details about Omicron, plus the debut of a new show coming to this channel. We got a lot coming up in this big Mornings broadcast. I'm excited you're here. But first, go under this video right now and subscribe. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. The subscribe button is under the video, and you want to become part of this incredible family. The number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. Meantime, sign up for those LA alerts, which is totally free. It's also in the description of this video. And here we go into a big Mornings broadcast. This incredible recon has passed, and it has a lot of deliciousness in there. Far more than $15,000 than we initially thought. There's actually upwards of $50,000 to $60,000 of checks. Get your pen and paper ready, because we're going to go over each of these checks, starting with the first cluster right now. They got in there hazard pay, and also money for my essential workers. $4,000 of elder care, $4,000 to care for young children, $3,600 for the CTC. One more year of that. The Pell Grant $550 checks. The home repairs got that in there as well for low-income community homes, and then got in there $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow, it's incredible. How do you get these sums of money? It's coming up in just a second. The first add-on comes from Southern California here, and Maxine Waters, the wonderful legislator here in town, she got it in there, and it is free money to buy your first home. She wanted $25,000. She got a little bit less, and boy, is this deliciousness. Let's go to the second cluster of checks. How do you get all these monies? Stay with me. I explain it later in this video. In the second cluster checks, we got a lot of money. We got in there the paid leave. We also got in there the childcare, the expansion of the household tax credit, the pre-kindergarten, and also we got in there the weatherizing your home. You need to weatherize your home because you know it's the holiday season. There's always Christmas carolers outside, and you never know when Mitch McConnell's among them. And if you've seen him on Star Search, you want to be sure the glass will sustain his singing. Let's go to the second add-on of wonderful checks in this recon. And that second add-on comes from the illustrious Bob Casey. He got $250 billion. No, he got a little bit less. What is this for? This is for free home health care. And that is for my seniors on people and disabilities. Wow, that is incredible. Again, he got a little bit less than initially thought. How do you get that? It's coming up in just a second. Let's go to cluster number 3. Here we go with the big checks across the board. The cluster I call deliciousness. They got money in there for seniors, free internet. Also got in there free school meals for all checks, the cheaper prescription medication, and immigration reform. Also the money for my independent contractors. And then finally, the money in there for seniors by doing the Medicare expansion. Truly embodying the situation of House versus Senate, because the House members got 2 provisions in there for this, and the senators vowed to add 3 more. The House members on the Medicare expansion got in there the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix, and the senators vowed to add in there the lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision, which is the true embodiment of what we're looking at when we're looking at an MSC, which stands for Multiple IRS Stimulus Check. Starting in the month of May, this channel started advocating for its inclusion. And thousands of viewers were told by 6 senators' staffs that they're going in there. But when the legislation landed in the Senate about 2 weeks ago, I said to pick up the phone and re-advocate to them, telling them why you need, your family needs, your community, your business. And day after day, another viewer brought in one of those 6 senators. And the details today reveals the 6 of the final 6 senators has now come forward and said much the same. What happened? Well, it started the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And that's when Janet picked up the phone and called the wonderful Chuck Schumer and spoke to Chuck Schumer's office and advocated for its inclusion and was told by Chuck Schumer's office in D.C. that it's going in there via Bernie Sanders. Then Lynn Glenn picked up the phone and advocated this last Wednesday and was told by Chris Coons' office that it's going in there. Then we had Bonnie, who picked up the phone and advocated last Thursday to Liz Warren's office and was told it's going in there. Finally, we had the incredible viewer on Friday picking up the phone and calling Casey's office, and his name was Dwayne Taylor, and said, LA, I called Casey's office yesterday. I was told it's going in there as well. And the new one today is Donnie. Donnie has picked up the phone and called Ron Wyden's office, and so has his wife, Sharon. And they both have advocated for its inclusion, and they have both been told it's going in there. When we talk about MSC, we're talking about at least 1 or more checks. Eligibility, same as third stimulus. Single individual, 75,000 less, got it. Married couple, 150,000 less, got it. Double it. Family of 4, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, they got it as well. It's not income. It's not taxable. It's the same amount for every state. Every state would get it. This is a national program across the board. And when they talk about the amount this time around, there is big grounds for negotiations. But when they talk about the amounts, they have often said $2,000 the first month, $1,000 ever after for up to 6 months. And so there you go. For the first time on this channel in 2 weeks, we now have 6 of those 6 senators saying it's going in there. We have now had in 2 weeks Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer now telling viewers this channel it's going in there. This is all 6 of 6 in the last 7 days. Again, we now have Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer all saying it's going in there. But you need to advocate. You need to pick up the phone and advocate. Call these 6 senators and tell them your story. Pick up the phone and advocate, because guess what? They want to hear from you. The chief of staff to one of those senators that is important in the equation says, we need to hear from you. And it starts with a phone call to their staff. The next best is a voicemail. And the message is very loud and clear. They now have in total between congressional senators' offices received more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Everyone's amazed by the touching of stories. They have a better understanding of what Americans are going through this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories, and they have the voice of people across the nation and you, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your advocacy as the professional voice of the people until this becomes a law. But also give yourself some time to advocate for your wallet. And what does that involve? It involves picking up the phone and getting the big money available today to pay your bills under third stimulus. I know you have bills to pay. Well, third stimulus is paying thousands of dollars. And viewers this week each got $5,000 approximately. Some got more. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid today from third stimulus. It's incredible. We'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness. This is all coming up in the second half. We'll be turning to fifth stimulus. The latest details on that and your questions answered live on air. Then we'll be turning back into third stimulus and the fourth stimulus and the big push to get this done. The latest breaking news, as two analysts now believe that the Senate will get this done, how it will get it done, and when it will get it done. It's brand new tonight, this morning. Those details plus the latest details on the financial markets, the meltdown of the financial markets, the confusion about those travel bans and Omicron today, and the debut of a new show coming to this channel. Those details and more coming up in the second half of this video. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now in the second half. This live broadcast direct from Santa Monica of Mornings LALATE. I'm glad you're joining me on a big, bold, beautiful day. Jump in the live chat and tell me how the weather is and where you're tuning in from. That recon has passed this House, is now in the Senate, and the Senate changes may not remove too many items, says a new report, and the Senate may pass this relatively quickly. That new report is coming up in just 10 seconds. Those recon provisions have a lot of checks in there, upwards of $50,000, $60,000. If you're a viewer's channel, you're going to clean up from fourth stimulus like you've never cleaned up before. The biggest payday ever in the history of this channel. Meantime, getting your bills paid today? Yes. Viewers have gotten thousands of dollars each day this week. Average $5,000 after they got $45,000. How do you get your bills paid? It's coming up in just a second. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest on that. And then fifth stimulus, everyone's benefits are going up. And then fifth stimulus raising it more. Boy, those details plus the latest details of the financial meltdown that happened with the markets and those travel restrictions, plus a new show coming to this channel in just a few days. The excitement's brewing. But first, I want you to subscribe. Go down to this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Be part of this incredible family. Also, like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member to the #3 most watched financial news channel in America. It's LALATE. Sign up for those LA alerts, also, which are totally free under the video. The breaking news as we go into a big day today involves a series of major twists and turns, and let's go over each of them starting right now. One of the greatest things that came in over the weekend was a brand new report, and the brand new report cited liberal and conservative analysts. Again, they're not legislative, but they're analysts talking about the situation the recon in the Senate. And what did they both agree upon? Everything. Both liberals and conservative analysts that were interviewed over the weekend said that they agree that the recon will get done in the Senate in December. First, they believe that everything that's in the recon, with the exception of maybe two provisions, are staying in there that were passed by the House. The two provisions in jeopardy, paid leave, and also the SALT cap. They also, second, said that they believe that there's going to be a lot of other checks added in there. And finally, they said that they believe it'll be smooth sailing and there's enough time to get it done by the end of December. I'm going to go over why they said that in just a second. But it's fascinating because we rarely have a series of two people on the different sides of the political spectrum agreeing upon the things. And they are Kyle Pomelo, senior fellow at the Conservative American Enterprise Institute, and also Seth Hanlon, who is on the liberal side. He's a liberal center for the American Progress. He's a senior fellow there. Why do they believe these things will get done by December? One, they think there's enough time. Number two, they believe there's not a real battleground at all. And number three, they think that a lot of the provisions that are in this recon are continuations of third stimulus programs. And the Democrats don't want the programs to lapse, meaning end. They want them to be live when they pass for stimulus recon so that they can just continue the live programs. I'm going to go over all those incredible programs in a second. A new report released just minutes ago, which I read just before I went on air, says the president believes he's going to get this done in December as well. But they're trying to do this a little differently. What they're trying to do this time is trying to not make it such a public issue. So I'm going to fully advise you that you're not expected to see a lot of public press releases, press conferences, because they're trying, as fellow Democrats of the same party, colleagues, to not ramp up the heat, keep it private and keep it behind closed doors until the vote happens. The incredible news is that this recon is going to be the single biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. Third stimulus was a much smaller package. This one is a much bigger package. And while we said $15,000, it's likely a lot more than $15,000. It's likely upwards of $50,000 to $60,000 of checks. And let's start with them right now. The first provision that got in there is the paid leave. And this is a lot, $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $35,000 annual salary, that would be $800 a week. $15,000 annual salary be $400 a week. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Yeah, this is $6,000 a year on the high end. All income levels, W-2 1099s. And if you don't work but live with your son and daughter and they take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor, they're going to get the check to take you there for taking off from work. It's incredible. They got in there the SALT cap, which was $10,000 under the 2017 Trump overhaul of the tax code. And now will be $72,500 of what you can deduct in state and federal on state and local taxes on the federal tax return. They got $40 billion of free job training in there, which is great because millions of Americans want to take a higher paying job. Now you get the job training for it. And the next provision is great. A lot of people ask me daily in private message, what about the cheaper medical insurance? So here you go. 12 Republican states had not paid for Obamacare, so the Democrats got a workaround plan. It's this recon that will provide years of privatized, subsidized insurance to low-income, uninsured people in those states, which brings us to the best provision. The best provision in this entire recon, $150 billion for housing. The housing provision is 6 provisions. The first 3 are brand new. Weatherize your home, home repairs, and also purchasing of a new home. The other 3 provisions are extension and continuation of third stimulus, rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. But the great news is you don't have to wait for 4th stimulus to become a law. You can get it paid today. Get your bills paid today with third stimulus. And so get your pen and paper ready because we're going to show you how to get your bills paid right now. In the last 2 weeks, we've had big success stories, but let's step back a little bit. Back in December 2020, I had an exclusive preview of what would become a new law called third stimulus. It was not even a bill at the time. And I looked at it, I said, I think I can get you $15,000 from this new third stimulus bill. When it became law in spring of 2021, this year, I said, I can still get you about $15,000. Some people are just focused on the $14 stimulus check. I said, focus on the other money. I think I can get you $15,000. I was wrong. The average view of this channel got $45,000 in spring of 2021. Now, 2 weeks ago, I saw an issue. People need their bills paid. So I said, you know what? you could still get third stimulus money. This was a big shocker to viewers. Shocker to viewers who had gotten third stimulus before, didn't think they can get it again, and shocker to new viewers who had never thought that third stimulus still had money to pay their bills right now. And the big surprise is in the last 2 days, every single day, I'm getting messages from people saying, I got another $6,000, $5,000 from 3 programs. The average is $5,000 from 3 programs. And here are some of the success stories with a new success story you're hearing for the first time on Mornings Live. Chef John Maya, a longtime viewer of this channel, got another extra $2,500 a SNAP, is now trying to get utilities. Love you. You're awesome. Love you back, Chef. Then Deborah, she just got 6 more months of rent at $4,000. Thank you, LA. 6 months. That's a very common number we're seeing for rent, 6 or 4 months. Then Dwayne Taylor, Lynn Glenn, the day before that, says, I got 4 more months of rent. I'm never going to leave you. I love you, Lynn Glenn. Love you back. There is Dee Miller, who says she got 4 more months of rent, $2,800. Showed you $1,200 a month. Here's Robin, who says, you are like an angel in disguise. Love you, Robin. She got 3 rounds of one utilities and then 3 rounds of another utilities in the same week. How do you do that? It's coming up in just a second. Then Madonna, she got 1 round, another round, and a 3rd round of rent. Great job, Madonna. The day before that, Kathy says, I got rent and utilities and another one. It's about $6,000. You are a godsend. Thank you, Kathy. Love you back. That's about $6,000 for Kathy. Then we had May Lou the same day, earlier this week. She got about $5,000, including $1,000 for rent. You're the best. Love you back, May Lou. Morel, love Morel's story. Got 1 round, then another round, the 3rd round of rent. Scarpia got snapped. Melissa Justice got $10,000 last week. Jay Grant says, we speak for all of you. We love you, LA. Love you back, Jay Grant. Got $5,000. And then I love Chris's story. Chris got $10,000 earlier this year as a viewer of this channel from renting utilities, from third stimulus. But then he says, I would have never known I can get more money from third stimulus after I got before. So he got another $4,800. And that is just incredible. So get a pen and paper ready if you're not a member. If you are a member, pull the newsletter out and follow along with me because it's all in the newsletter. We're going to get rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, more. This money is available in every single state. You qualify. Single, married, children, not married, children, red state, blue state, you qualify. And if you're a member, get that newsletter out and follow along with me. If you're not, take notes. Here we go. We're going to start first with the rent. The rent pays a lot of money. It was $20,000 to $30,000 about 3 months ago. It's gone up a lot, folks, since then. It is now on average $40,000. Here are the graphics about 3 months ago. We had one viewer in the live chat last week say he got $40,000. It was like $38,500. If that's you, send me a private message. I want to feature you live on air. Where do you get the rent? 6 places. You ready? Take notes. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, and State House Authority. The key words, you say, are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. Here are the 3 musts. Follow along in the newsletter. You must reach out to all 6 places. Number 2, you must get applications on file as many places as you can. And number 3, you must get multiple rounds. If you got a round earlier this year, get another round today. If you got a round yesterday, get another round with another organization today, like a nonprofit. Do the same thing for mortgage assistance as well. Then utilities. Wow. Here you go. It's gone up a lot. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000. You reach out to all utility companies. Again, it's utility assistance because of COVID. SNAP. If you got a third stimulus check, why are you paying for your own food? Get SNAP. Where do you get it from? Department of Agriculture. It pays for your food. It went up 25% lifetime starting in October. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year from this channel. Yes, that's $250,000 a year he is getting over the next 10 years from this channel. Get combo items. Here's Nisi. Nisi and Art Sullivan started in May. They had gotten 3 items. I said, do what Nisi and Art did. Get 3 items or more. Mark at the time, you see him on air here, $32,000. He had 2 items. I said, Mark, where's your 3rd item? So he went and got his 3rd item, brought him from $32,000 to $50,000. Now he's gotten more items. He's at over $100,000. Here was Lorraine. She was at $105. Now she's at $120. And then last week, a number I have never seen or ever thought would be possible. If this is you, send me a private message. I want to feature your name on air. A viewer was on the live chat and said last week he got for his family from third stimulus $135,000. This is incredible. Biggest payout we've ever seen for a single family from a single recon. Congratulations. Which brings us to the incredible story of Johnny, a three-part story. It starts with Johnny part one about a month or 2 months ago. He had started this channel watching and had $0 on Monday. By Wednesday, he had $35,000. How did he get so much money? 45,000. How did he get 45,000 in 3 days? From 3 programs. Great news. He was one of two other viewers who got the same thing. They didn't even know each other. But Johnny heard my recordings really carefully, and he heard me say, don't stop at what you have. Try to get more sums of money. So he didn't stop at Wednesday. He kept on calling. And by the end of the week, he had 7 programs approved. Why do I like part one of the story? Because to get 7 programs approved, it means Johnny made at least 15 phone calls. You're going to get 20 to 50% no's. You're going to get some no's. So for every no, you're going to get a yes. And for him to make 15 phone calls, that's how he got 6 or 7 no's and 7 yeses. How much money did he get in 5 days? $80,000. Yes, $80,000 from 5 programs. 7 programs in 5 days from this channel. Part 2 of the story I really like. And part 2 of the story involves the next week, the following Monday. His family members said, what have you been doing? Oh, I got $8,000 last week. From what? LA. Oh, I've heard about him. What do you get that help for? He said, I got LA to help show me how to get $80,000 from third stimulus. They said, how come broadcast media doesn't cover it? He says, they don't cover it. Let me show you how to do this. He covers it. And he showed those 2 family members. By the end of the week, they went from non-belief to belief, and each had $50,000. Why did this happen? The landscape of America right now is LATE is the number 3 most watched financial news channel, but the number 1 for geopolitical news, which is what you're watching right now. Other broadcast channels, they don't really cover this. They cover SPACs. SPACs? What's a SPAC? You don't know what a SPAC is because I don't cover it on this channel. And if I don't cover it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist? No, it means I just don't cover it. Also means what I cover doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means they don't want to cover it. That is the landscape. Part 3 of Johnny's story came in a week ago this last Sunday. I was watching the NFL Sunday football. I got a private message on Instagram from Johnny. He says, I have an update for you. I said, oh, what happened? He said, people kept on coming over the house saying, what am I doing? I said, what were you doing? He said, I was helping people get more sums of money from your channel, LA. Oh, really? He said, snowball. And I kept on showing more people how to get the money from third stimulus, watching your videos. We watched them together. And it snowballed. This is Johnny talking. He says, I eventually helped get 35 people money from third stimulus by watching your channel, LA. I asked Johnny, how much money did you get those 35 people, Johnny? He said, $850,000 for those 30 plus people. This is the power of information. This is the power of third stimulus, and this is the power of LA. So if you've not subscribed, make sure you go into this video right today and subscribe and become a member. Get that incredible newsletter that comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which features all this incredible money. It features the 6 places you reach out to for the rent, the keywords you say, the 5 nonprofits that also help with small appliances and nominal repairs. It also features the important information about that treasury money that went out for rent, so you know all this details ahead of the board. As a member, that's how viewers are doing so well. Because when doing this, you want to do it exactly how I say it. Not a version of it, not a watered down version of it. Exactly what I say. And consider becoming a member today. Let's go back into 4 stimulus, which we left off in the housing provision. 3 new housing provisions in there. First one is first-time home purchases. So this would be money given to you by the federal, or given to the seller in your name by the federal government in the time of escrow. Then home repairs, yes. This is for low-income home repairs. It would be a grant. And then the weatherize your home. This is for all income levels at the moment, and this is for glass and roof and things like that. Let's go back into that recon. They got $150 billion of in-home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. It's incredible. It would just be a covered benefit. They got $550 checks for the Pell Grant for my college students. And let's meet 2 new cast members as we start the big day. Those 2 new cast members, they have a familiar likes, and it's singing. The first one is Simplistic Sally. There she is. She loves to sing. And there is Voting Victoria. What is the similar trait between voting Victoria and Simplistic Sally? Let me explain. Let's start with Voting Victoria. Voting Victoria likes to say, when are they voting? What day are they voting? Are they voting today? Are they voting tomorrow? What day are they voting? Now, let's go over this. It's important to understand when you want to vote and when you don't want to vote. The legislation, the recon, has passed the House and is now in the Senate. The recon is 3,000 plus pages. And let's say I was a senator and I'm looking at a provision in there and I'm like, this is wonderful. I can't wait to send out the money to the American people for this. But wait a second, there's a problem with the language in here. I think it's going to disqualify some money from going out, or I think it's going to disqualify some people. I want to make sure that everyone gets this money. So understand, I want you to have the money, but I think the language of the bill is written wrong. So I'm going to go to Chuck Schumer and say, Chuck, there's something wrong with this language. We need to fix it. Oh, you're right, LA. Let me address it with the other senators. And maybe they all agree. Maybe they fix it and they're done. Maybe there's one senator says, no, LA, it's wrong. I think the language needs to stay that way. So what's important to understand is you want to call the vote when everything is fixed. And there's some things that need to be fixed across the board. Now, let's go to Simplistic Sally. Simplistic Sally starts every sentence with, well, basically. Well, basically. In the case of legislators, it's not always so basic. I had a wonderful viewer, very, very kind, in one of the live chats yesterday saying, how many more steps are left, LA? Well, using my example right there, you don't know how many steps will be left. Because if I said to Chuck, I have a problem with this provision, maybe Chuck fixes it, asks everyone else, and that's, 2 steps. But maybe there's one guy says or gal says, no, I don't agree with LA. I want it to change that way. Then you got a few more steps. So things need to be modified. How does this work in real life? Let me show you a real life example right now. It's the next provision. It is the electric car. $12,500. How will this work? You go into the dealership at the time of purchase. It's going to say on the window sticker, $30,000, for example, minus $12,500 equals $18,000. Instant savings at the time of purchase. I have no problem with that provision. It's the next part I'd have a problem with. If I was a senator, say to Chuck Schumer, I think you need to change this language because it violates U.S. trade policies with Mexico and Canada, which says you cannot encourage or discourage the purchase of one good in Canada versus California or Mexico versus New York. You can't do that. That's our trade policy rule. I think this language violates it. So let's show you an example. It has to be a electric car, U.S. auto manufacturer, U.S. labor. Pretty simple, right? Cadillac Lyric, electric SUV, and Ford Mustang Mach-E, electric SUV. Let's use the example. Ford and GM. They both qualify. Electric cars, both qualify. Unionized labor, yeah, both qualify. Ford unionized labor and GM unionized labor. So what's the difference? The Mustang is made in Mexico. Disqualify. The Cadillac is made in Tennessee. Qualifies. I don't think you can do that type of language. I think it violates the trade policy. If I was senator, say to Chuck Schumer, change this language. That's a real world application of the situation. They got $65 per child in there for nutrition when they're not in school. And then we turn to one of the best provisions of recon, the cheaper medication. Day one, 20 medications will be dramatically cheaper. This is Medicare Part B. Medicare Part D, arthritis, cancer, diabetes, the most expensive medication. For example, an insulin dose will go from $1,000 to $35 out the door. It'll grow to 30 medications by year 2028 and cannot increase more than the rate of inflation per year. And if they do, there's a penalty provision. Penalty provision. You can't do a penalty provision in recon, says Pat Toomey, the GOP senator. And if I was Senator LALATE, I would agree with him. I don't think you can do a penalty provision in the recon. So again, this is a language that needs to be modified. But who would modify this one potentially first? The Senate parliamentarian. She's reviewing provisions like this, and she's likely to take that out. She's also likely to take out the immigration reform. She's previously ruled can't go in there. And then we get to paid leave. Paid leave, some people say, she may remove. Now, this last week, Joe Manchin said, you leave paid leave in there, I'm voting against the recon. So it shows you how things are an issue of how you modify the language. But as those two analysts say, they think that most things are staying in there, except with maybe those two provisions and more provisions going in there on top of that. Now, you look at this graphic, $15,000. It's clearly not $15,000. It's clearly $50,000 to $60,000 because have you been running the math? Have you been keeping a running tab with me of all these checks? Well, let's recap just a second here. You have the basic provisions in this recall, about, at least 15,000. Then you have everything repeated from third stimulus, again, 45,000. Plus you got those add-ons from Maxine Waters and Bob Casey. You got the car. It's clearly more than $50,000. And that's before those Senate changes go in there. And those Senate changes will be robust. Now, ironically, when you look at this recall, The same 6 senators who say they want to give you an MSC are also the same senators who say there's a lot of missing gaps. We need to add more provisions in there. And that's why it's so important to pick up the phone and advocate, because guess what? They say there's a lot of stuff to still go in there. And those 6 senators are Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. You need to pick up the phone and advocate to them across the board. Let's go back into those incredible provisions that are in that recon and get that pen and paper ready, because these are provisions that were passed by the House. So they got in there universal pre-kindergarten, 1 year. They got child care back end. Now, this is a continuation of third stimulus. Notice that analysts report earlier. They say continuation. This would be expiring if they don't get it done by the end of December. The next few ones, the same thing. Enhanced child tax credit. This would be extension, $3,600. The earned income tax credit back end. This is an extension. The home health care is brand new. This would be a covered benefit. Then they also got in there the hearing, which is a check. They got in there the Pell Grant, that's a check, $550. The nutrition, and also the home repairs. So what are the provisions the senators are adding in there? Well, in addition to that push to add an MSC, the senators say they want to add other provisions, like Bernie, who wants to add in there lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision. Let's go over those Senate changes right now. First, Bernie wants to lower the eligibility age of Medicare from 65 to 55. Bob Casey wants to do 60. Next, Bernie wants to put in there full dental benefits. He initially wanted 10 years. I don't think he can do it. Then he wanted to do 3 years. I think that works. The last offer on the table is $850 checks. I don't think that works at all. It doesn't cover most procedures. Bernie wants in there vision as well. A frame and a eye exam per year. Pretty simple. It is simple unless you look at frameworks. Coming back to this challenge just a few days. Let's turn to executive orders for a second. This would be student loan debt forgiveness. And an offer on the table, $10,000 by executive order. Democrats should take it. They can ask for more money next year. The president previously forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled, went to work in the nonprofit sector and the public sector after graduation. COLA raise and fifth stimulus. A lot of questions about this, and some new questions today, so I'm going to answer them live on air right now. COLA is different. The COLA raise is different than fifth stimulus, so let's do one at a time. Your benefits are going up 5.9% January 1. Automatically, you don't have to do anything about it. If you didn't receive the letter, don't worry. It's just a by the way letter. If your benefits are still going up. In the case of veterans, some benefits are apparently going up already in the month of December. Impacting your Medicare? No, that's a fake narrative. Now, that is fifth stimulus, 5.9% increase. Now, and it's the same percentage increase for everyone. Everyone's 5.9%. Now, let's turn to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus is a body of legislation that will come right behind this, which says, COLA, it's not good. We need to get rid of COLA for the end of next year. And first thing they do is raise you up one big time to get you caught up. Then apply a new benchmark starting December 2022. And that benchmark would be inflation, which is going to be 2 to 3%. They're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And love is going to win. You'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. And that is fifth stimulus. Meantime, let's go over some of the other breaking news, which is really confusing across the board. First, let's go over those travel advisories. This makes no sense. The president initially announced travel restrictions for non-U.S. citizens out of South African countries because of Omicron. But then over the weekend, Dr. Fauci appeared on broadcast media and said the White House may remove those restrictions. Makes no sense because the White House asked for those restrictions to gather data about Omicron before opening the borders. We would hope the president keeps on message about what he's doing with this one. A related issue is travel for U.S. citizens coming from Europe. They're absolutely confused. U.S. travelers have no idea what the rules are because they're not being made clear by the administration. For example, travelers from Germany to New York, where they have a stopover in Paris for overnight, don't know if they have to retest in Paris or what type of testing they have to do in Paris, or if the first testing before they board in Germany is sufficient. Let's then turn it to a other issue, which is far more important, which is the financial meltdown that happened on Friday, continued over the weekend with crypto, and is likely to continue at a very big issue all the way to December 15th. Let's talk broadly what it is so you understand broadly what it is. And then we'll go over the specifics. Broadly what it is Wall Street did not think this economy was this strong. And now they are worried that on December 15th, when the Federal Reserve meets, they will have 2 interest rate spikes far sooner than anticipated and tapering far sooner. What are analysts and myself saying? That unless Omicron becomes worse, which at the moment it is not, the Federal Reserve is likely to do that on December 15th. And that is a risk no one saw coming. And that is why stocks imploded on Friday, down 1,000 points. That is why crypto on Saturday had its worst time ever in the history of the channel, down 50% for many, many coins on Saturday, and barely rebounded that much on Sunday. So what happened with this financial data on Friday? This is very important stuff for you to know. It's the jobs numbers. It's released once a month, and there's a top line number, which is really not the issue at hand. The top line number missed. It's the other numbers below it. First, the unemployment number. The best, lowest unemployment since 2019. Blew away expectations. Number two, great number for low unemployment among Latinos and African Americans. A great number, which is a Fed Reserve policy to make sure that number gets low. Number three, the labor participation number went up. A great number. This refers to how many Americans are sitting on the sideline, not participating in the labor market, causing labor shortage. They returned to the labor market in massive numbers last month. This was not anticipated. And finally, the labor rate improved dramatically. It went down. So meaning people went back to work but didn't have to be paid more. Why is this important for you? It suggests that the supply chain issue causing inflation may be easing. Inflation is caused by lack of workers, lack of truck drivers, lack of people getting the product from point A to point B. That lack is disappearing quickly. So recap. If the economic data does not change and Omicron does not get worse, many believe that between now and December 15th will be a nail biter, at which we are likely to see the Federal Reserve giving 2 interest rate spikes and a tapering quicker than initially thought, which is not as robust an economy that most Wall Street analysts thought was coming. Meantime, all this week, you can see those senators in session, but they're not going to be talking too much about the recount because the new reports say the White House and the Democrats don't want a bloodbath of discussion, don't like this, do like this, that you saw in recent months. But I will get all the breaking news as soon as it comes in about each little element across the board. Meantime, a new show coming to this channel. You're going to see me in a new light. You're going to see me in a format that has never been delivered to broadcast media, print media, or anywhere before. It's a show in which you're going to see me here, like I am right now, going out of focus and back in focus. And also, you're going to see me here in the metaverse. We're going into the metaverse with a brand new show in which you learn about a brand new universe of interaction. You'll be able to interact with the Purple Power friends and fellow viewers and meet new viewers across the globe. You'll learn about how to visit destinations and how to make money in the metaverse, how the interaction works, how you can make money from very basic to very advanced. It's a show never delivered before on a platform like this. You'll be able to watch it here on YouTube. It'll be here on YouTube, and it'll also have an interactivity function. So if you want to get in there and interact with me and make it rain with some dollar bills from the ceiling, that will be joining you as well. Meantime, coming back at 11 a.m. today is your hit new show, Holidays LALATE. Holidays LALATE is in its second season. In season number 2 this time around, the first half is the same, always about your financial news. The second half of the show is still about holidays, but this time around, for season 2, it's interactivity. It's live on air Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. It's coming up in about 1 hour from now. In that live interactivity, I answer your questions as well about the holiday spirit. Meantime, the new show also coming to this channel that people have been talking about is Calcino. It features Sirloin, Javita Light, and Blaine 66 in a new comedy show. So much new shows coming to this channel, so I want you to be part of the incredible family and make sure you subscribe. Go down to this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Become part of the LA Alerts, which is also free, by the way. It's in the description of this video, so you can alert when a new video goes live. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like the video, it helps in the algorithm rankings, and become a part of the membership of the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. So you get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. Meantime, if you haven't seen the anticipation, if you haven't seen the excitement, it's coming to this channel. I know you want to see it. I think they're ready as well. Here is Calcino. And join me next on Noontime's Big Holidays LALATE in just an hour. See you then.